Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome back. It is Monday, December 1st. That date is hard to believe. So if you are here, let me know, check in. I will get started here in a moment. And what's going on with the weather in your area? I think we've got a snowstorm coming, but I don't know if we're going to get that much snow. Hello, Holly, welcome. All right, it's crunch time for Christmas cards, and here it is, December 1st, and you know they need to get in the mail, so I think I've created enough to, let's get situated here, to get some in the mail this year. I tend to put that off with other things to do, so but I'm excited to show you something different today, new for me, that I haven't used yet, and that is the Ornamental Christmas bundle. There are other things to go with it, like big gold hoops that I may show you next week for a 3D item. We'll see if I get that done. So let's flip down to my desktop and let's put this up here. That is the site for my Stampin' Up website. And you can order anytime, 24/7. I think the big sales are over now with the Black Friday sale was over and kits are over. So now it's just kind of time to settle in and get things done before we start the beginning of the year. So this is the card that I'm going to make today. And I'm going to make two kind of at one time, two at one time. It's a twofer. I'm also pulling back in, like I used last week, these Christmas words collage words. I can't get enough of them, especially in gold. So I just ran this through a little bit ago so I would have a new supply. So you can see how this works. It is a hybrid, and you pop this part in over here on the left side and put your paper in. And it's a large one, so it's 6 by 6. So you need a 6 by 6 piece of paper, designer paper, cardstock. I just happen to really think the gold makes it extra special. And then you run it through. And you get it cut and embossed at the same time. And hello, Shirley, welcome to you. So those are done. I'm going to put them here in my little container. And put that back together. But here, you can see how that just, it snaps in. You can see it snap. Put your paper on this side and fold it and run it through. I hope that stays around. You can also just use this as an embossing folder with your paper and make that as a background. So it's very versatile. And you don't actually have to run all of them through at one time. If you just want 'tis the season, put that piece of paper there and the die, and that's good to go too. So let's put that away since that part's done. So how's your week been? It's only Monday, but it's pretty cold here. I haven't actually been upstairs to look at the temperature lately, so I think it's probably in the 30s. All right, so what do I have here to get two cards like this done at once? Just a little bit of stamping. This is the stamp set, Ornamental Christmas Got some nice sentiments here, but of course I'm going to use these gold ones over here. A couple trees. This is what I'm going to use. I don't exactly know. I guess you could hang your ornaments from it. We've got a star for the trees. So there we go with that. And these are the dies. And this is the circle that I'm using. There is a more ornamental die here, but I like the circle. But with the gold rings, I guess, that come with it, that's kind of what this is for. But I'm using this as my ornament. And then this is the little top, ornament topper, that will work on either one of those, the circle or the traditional ornament shape. There's a star there. I've not used that yet. And then there's this. And I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. It's got some stitching on the side, but I'm going to make some polka dots. Just plain tone-on-tone polka dots. So it's a little on the whimsical side, but I thought, let's try that. And I really didn't see any samples out there in the stamping world that used that, so kind of came up on my own. I have some other ideas of what that die might be used for, so that wouldn't even be Christmas related. So anyway, I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is the traditional 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. A panel that I'm going to stamp on that will be 4 by 5 1/4. I have 2 of those. And the sample that I showed you here, I used Secret C for this background here, because there's a little bit of Secret C in this paper, and the paper I'm using is the Traditions of Christmas paper. I still can't get enough of it. I have a lot of it, and I think I ordered 2 packs of it, and I just love, love, love this paper. But you'll notice that this has these little polka dots on here, so I'm going to do one with polka dots and one without. Okay, so let's do our panels first. That's going to be the easy part. I've got a chamois here to clean it between colors. And then this is the stamp that I'll be using. And this also is one of our red rubber. And again, I will remind you that anything that's being produced now is not red rubber anymore. It's all photopolymer. So this still has that nice cushion there. So let's do a pool party one. And so I guess with these colors, it would be considered non-traditional. Let's see if we've got enough ink on there. Looks good. It's light, but that's okay. And with this, I'm going to start in the middle, because I know that that's where my ornament's going to go. Then I can go off to the side. And hoping that I make it straight, but that's why we have double-sided paper. So if it's not, I can turn it over. So let's see how that's going to go. Now let's see. I want to make sure that's kind of in the middle and where this is going to go. So I guess I want to go about here. Okay, that's just a nice light color, but just gives a little bit of a background. And then kind of match that up on the left and the right. little bit off, but I think that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this and switch over to do the pink. So the stamping part will be done. So when you want to mass produce cards, you can do it something like this. Do all the steps. Let's make sure that's dry. All the steps at one time, and then go on to the next step. Now the pool party doesn't show so much in the paper that I'm using, but it is in the Traditions of Christmas DSP. But there's a lot of pink in here. And surprisingly enough, the Pretty in Pink did not show up as being one of the colors in the pack of paper. Whether that was an oversight, I don't know, but I'm going to use some Pretty in Pink. Okay. Ooh, that's nice and bright. I think that'll be pretty on there. So I think I've got the right spot here again in the middle. And that circle die is big enough to kind of cover up where these meet. So did you have a good Thanksgiving? I did something different this year than what I've done in the past number of years, and went to a buffet with some friends, and it was different. But then we went back to somebody's house afterwards to kind of socialize and continue the celebration. Okay, let's clean that one up so it's done. And now we're just ready to assemble. So you could get all of your circles ready to go. I've got some polka dots over here ready to go. And I will say, when those get cut out, there's a front or a top and a bottom to that. And it kind of puffs up a little bit, and you'll definitely know if you've got the wrong side. Because I threw a few away because I glued them down wrong. Okay, so put that out of the way. Let's do the pink one first. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Now, this is the one that I started with the secret C on it, and pulled in that little bit of secret C there from the back. And of course, this needs dimensionals. Can't have it flat. And I do have some additional samples to show you at the end. Okay, so how do I want that to go on there? There, I think that looks good. Drop it down a little bit so that there's room for this to go here. Put a dimensional on the back of that. So on Saturday, I got my Christmas decorations up, and it seems like every year I put up fewer and fewer decorations of all the ones that I have. In fact, I'm looking across my room right now, and I have some things that I could still take upstairs if I wanted to, but just kind of had a couple new things this year that I wanted to use. So it's always different. And then I do try to take pictures so I know what I had this year versus last year, and just kind of change it up a little bit. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to do next? Again, this is very simple. I'm going to go ahead and put some of these. The pink one is going to have some polka dots, and then I'll leave the polka dots off of the pool party one. And there are 3 different sizes here. If you look at this, the die, there's a smaller one, a medium, and then a large one. And then 2 of each one of those. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. As I said, I was mass producing. So let's put this one on here and go that way. So do you mass produce your cards, or do you make a few of each different design? By mass produce, I mean making the same one for all of your cards, like you go out and buy a box of Christmas cards. Boy, I haven't done that in a long, long time. Okay, so we have basically our 2 cards are done. We just need to add some polka dots on one. We're going to add some ribbon and then decide what sentiment to go across here. So this is a very easy one. So let's get some glue here. And what I'm going to do is just make little dots so I have my design of how I want those to go, and kind of keeping it in not a design, but like one there, and I like to do them in 3s, kind of in a triangle design, so you can see where that glue is going to be. And I can let that sit there. Hello, Rose. Oh, you're never too late. You can catch up. This is what I'm making today. But I'm making a twofer here. So we have one that is in Pretty in Pink, one that is in Pool Party, and now I'm just kind of finishing up. It's a little bit of a mini mass production. So we've got 3 there. Let's put 2 here, and I'll go ahead and glue those down so my glue doesn't get someplace it's not supposed to be. And I've got the Take a Pick tool. Now, so I'm picking this up and I'm making sure that what I see here is the top. You can definitely tell that there is a top and a bottom to these the way they get cut out, because there's just a little bit of a puff to them, I guess. Is that the best way to say it? So there I've got a large one. Let's pick a medium-sized one. Make sure I've got the right one there and stick it on. And when I started doing this, it was kind of a last minute, like, what am I going to do with this? And I like the tone on tone. I have some ideas for doing a whole bunch of colored polka dots or put them on a tree. But the tone on tone just really, really spoke to me today. So I'm turning that over. Make sure I've got the right side. Let's put one down here. And let's go for a medium one here. Okay, let's put some glue over here. So it's random, but there is a method to the madness here. I want it to be balanced, but not look like it's a true design, if that makes any sense. Okay, actually, I think this one is upside down. It is, so I'm going to take that off. There's still enough glue there. Should probably put my glasses on here so I can really see what I'm doing. There we go. And I guess that's why it's a little bit harder to see with the tone on tone. If I put it in my hand and turn it, then I'm pretty sure that it's going to be okay. I'll probably end up putting maybe another one over there. Let's get a large one down here. And I found that if you've got a little smear or smudge on your card, these are perfect for that too. So ask me how I know that. So I kind of ended up with an odd number here, which is what I want. And now let's just figure out what we're going to do here. I'm not going to put any polka dots on this one. Now, I have found that glue does not work well on the gold. It just doesn't want to dry. So this is where we need to bring in another adhesive, and this is where the glue dots are perfect for the bow. So I'm actually going to put 2 on there, and they stick really well. See, it's just as easy to do 2 or maybe 3 or even 4 at one time, and then you got it done. Okay, so that part is done. And now we need to do a bow, and this is an online exclusive, the gold striped ribbon, and I know that it had been unavailable. I'm not sure if it came back on it, because when I decided to use it, I didn't have time to check. So there's our bow. I don't want to tie it too tight till I get it to the size that I want. I don't want it to overpower the ornament, but that looks pretty good. And let's grab some scissors. We need 2 of those. I think everybody has a different way of tying a bow. I see a lot of people do it so that it looks like the bunny ears. I guess I never really learned that way to tie a bow. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, these are probably not my ribbon cutting scissors here. There we go. So we've got our glue dot on there, glue dots. Stick that down. Kind of do some twisting. So I think I'm done with that. And you can tighten it and adjust it there too. Okay, so that's good. And I think I cut those tails just a little too short. All right, so there's the card. Then let's put it together and decide what sentiment is going to go across there. So go back to the liquid glue. Make sure that it's going the right direction, because when I did one earlier, I was putting something on upside down. It's always a good tip. Okay, so there's one. And here's two. And let's see, what is going to go across here? This is a nice long, you can have a nice long sentiment, or you can have something a little bit shorter. Got Merry Christmas. This one has Happy Christmas. Season's Greetings. So I think I'll use those two. Merry Christmas. Get some dimensionals going again here. What would we do without our dimensionals? Got the big and the little. I hate to cover up that pretty poinsettia, but it's okay. So there's Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink with polka dots, and Pool Party with no polka dots. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other samples. Are those dimensional backings just get all over everything? So there we go. Here's our twofer. I still have polka dots ready for something else. Kind of obsessed with those now. So, excuse me. Here is another card that I made with the tree. Use the arches. This is Granny Apple Green. Not sure that I used the best green here, because this was Mossy Meadow, and then I used a white, 'Tis the Season, for that one. That needs to get finished with a panel to go on the inside. Thanks, Rose. I do too. I just really thought, what am I going to do with that die? I looked at that and I didn't see anybody had used anything with it. Thought, got to make some polka dots, because this is a rather kind of a modern look. When it says Ornamental Christmas, I don't know, it's a modern look. These up here with the, I don't know, I don't know what you would call that. There's probably a name with that. Those would look nice on there too. Okay, this was the first one I did. I really like this, and then I added just a few polka dots down here at the bottom. And this one, that's probably where I got the idea. Let me grab this. This embossing folder, because I used the circle from the dies from the set, and just cut that out along the side. And then on a panel on the inside, a little bit shorter or smaller, I used this dotted circles. And then cut out 3 of the trees, added some stars, and there are the little polka dots. So I may add more up around here. I wasn't exactly sure I liked them that much then, but it worked out well. So they're just down here at the bottom. And actually there was a little boo-boo over here at the corner. So the polka dot doesn't look real good there, but it covers up a little ink spot. And then this was a slimline card. Yeah, they do look like snowballs. Yeah. Good idea. This was a slimline card I was going to do today, and then I got stuck on doing something else. And the envelope to go with it. And this is obviously the other ornament. And just a simple Merry Christmas card with the plaid embossing folder, which is nice for doing something like this because it is long. There's just a little bit here at the end that I think is hardly noticeable, that it didn't get embossed. Probably nobody would notice it but me, because I know that that's there. But that is an embossing folder that is this long. And this card is actually 8 3/4. It's 8 3/4 by 7 1/4. So if you've not made a slimline card in a while, that's a good one. That would be good to put some money in there as well. And then here is the envelope that goes with, that you could use cardstock, designer paper. This could go in the mail easily and be read by the post office. You could also use copy paper, because it's made with just an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock or paper. And then put your tear and tape up there. When you're ready to mail it, it's good to go. That is kind of thick with all that on there, so I'm not sure that that would go through with just one stamp or not. That would need to be weighed. So there we have it for today. I'm so glad you're here, and I appreciate you coming back week after week. Who knows what we'll do next week? It may still be holiday-ish, because I do have something that I want to show you, but I need to get a few of them made this week so that I can actually do it for you online. So that'll be a surprise. So come back again next Monday. I'm still at 3:30, and I will stay at 3:30 at least through December, and then make an evaluation if I'm going to move things back a little bit, 15 minutes or half an hour, going forward into the new year. So take care. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy, go craft, make some good stuff,